If I take 70, that'll easily be enough, I think, to finish this. Oh, well, I've taken... let's run up and do that before it gets too heavy anyway. To the cabin in the woods. It does look kind of nice having houses through trees and stuff. I might have to connect it up with a road, though, to something. You try the Kaiserschmarrn without the raisins, so just like a sweet pancake. Tasty. I do like pancakes, both like the crepe style and the American style. American ones, you gotta have them, those big fluffy pancakes, you gotta have them with maple syrup. That is so nice, and it's such a sugar rush as well. Just have a massive stack of them, and just you can just feel yourself slowly falling into a sugar coma. I think after this, I'm all about the logs, aren't I? So planks. What we're going to say? 12. Is it 12? 24? Is it 36 planks for one of these? We'll work on 36 planks. Alright, let's go chopping down some trees then. I could chop these down because they'll happily grow back. Send you some recipes on Discord? Do so, yes. I love trying out different foods. Although, I still have to get some fennel and try a fish stew from someone who sent me a recipe a long time ago. We were talking about that on stream. It's probably when we were talking about or playing Kingdom Come Deliverance and talking about different foods and old recipes and stuff. I still have that to do, but I'll probably jump to the pancakes one a little bit quicker, I suspect. Sticks we don't need. I can dump those. Feathers and stone. So let's get chopping down some trees in the dark. I'll maybe go across the other side of the road and get them, so I don't destroy my... let's have a torch as well. This is getting ridiculously dark. Here we go. This is where we want to be. In spruce tree country. I'm going to... Yeah, if I just fell them all, I'll not see where the logs go in this dark. Should be sensible. Mind you, it's a new season tomorrow, so I've got to get this done now so we can go back to the mines in the morning. Linzer cookies are good, and kuchen. Kuchen's a cake, obviously. I think, anyway. I say obviously. Is it a specific type of cake, or is it just cake in general? It's not the like the hollow sponge cake made in layers, is it? When I say hollow, it's like a cylindrical, but with a hollow centre made in layers. Because I've had a really nice one of those. A few of those, actually. Too many, probably, as my waistline would say. Kuchen just means cake. That's what I thought. I just wondered if it referred to like a specific type. Go on, fall, you beast. But not on me. I think I'm going to start using torches now, as they're so simple to build, and we do have a nice preponderance of straw and other things available to make new ones with. Oh, that's rude. Where the hell did that go? You're thinking more of a classic peach or cherry kuchen. Oh, it sounds good. One thing, now this sounds German. This is a UK cake. It sounds German. It might be, and it might not be. You tell me. Battenberg cake. It's like, I'd say rectangular cake. That's not right, is it? What's a 3D rectangle called? Cuboid. And it's made up of like 4 quarters, 2 pink, 2 yellow, diagonally opposite, and covered in marzipan. And those are really, really nice. The nighttime arborist. It's the best time to do arborist stuff at night because nobody can see that you're doing it badly. That's the best. There you go. There's a tip from the professionals. I must have some more torches. Simple torch. Guessing these ones don't last as long. They still seem to last a long time. German chocolate is not German. I wouldn't know about that. Fruit over the custard and sweet cake. That sounds really, really nice. But anything with like confections, custard and fruit in is going to be a hit with me. Battenberg is British. The first cake was baked in 1884 to celebrate Prince Louis of Battenberg marrying Princess Victoria, Queen Victoria's granddaughter and Prince Philip's grandmother. Well, there you go. An educational stream talking about cake. But Battenberg is really nice. But then it's, you know, it's cake covered in marzipan, so what's not to like? Marzipan's gorgeous. I can just eat it by the lump, by the slice. No forest fires so far. Cutting down trees by torchlight. I say that, right? When I was training to be an arborist, there was actually a death reported in the news nationally. And it was an arborist who was an idiot. Let's call him a tree surgeon. Because I don't think he had the... I don't think it's fair to call him an arborist, because he wasn't that high level. And he was taking down some sort of conifer tree. This was, I think, in the northeast of England. Doing it by himself. So he was scaling the tree, spiking up it and dismantling it by himself, which you're not really supposed to do. You're supposed to have someone working on the ground at all time, but anyway. But that's not the stupid part. The stupid part is that to save him time getting rid of the branches and stuff, he lit a bonfire at the bottom. Anyone who's worked with conifers, like Lelandii and stuff, will know that the bottom of them is just a mass of dried, dead needles and branches and fronds and stuff. And so what do you think happened? Yeah, he burnt to death in the tree. He burnt to death trying to get out of the tree. He was probably overcome by smoke and passed out and then burnt to death, I imagine. But what an idiot. And that's a true story. I'm not making that up. You can probably Google it. And that would be in 2001, I think it was. Darwin Award, exactly. You don't like marzipan? Oh, marzipan is so nice. It is one of my favourite sweets. I'm trying to classify it as a protein because it's made from almonds. So technically, it's part of my. You can make it into. You could convince yourself it's part of the paleo diet. It's made of nuts, but I think that's probably pushing it a little bit. But it is really nice. What are we short of? Are we logged? I think we're logged. So if I go and turn all these logs... Nope. No, we did need one. What about that one up there? And that one. So if I go and turn all these into planks and then see how many I've got. If I can cut some more down on the way. That would be better. One question for people on the paleo diet. How long did most paleo era live? It's a good question. The thing is, though, did they die because of their diet or because of they got eaten by saber-toothed tigers? I don't know. It's a funny thing, the paleo diet. There is some truth in it in that you will lose weight. The hell was that? Did you see that? There was, look there. Oh, it's reflective moonlight coming off the edge of that tree. I thought it was like a weird wispy ghost walking down the road behind the tree. Can you see what I'm looking at the end of that pointer there? There? It's weird. Oh, it's a reflection off the lake and behind it. Anyway, yeah, technically you can lose weight really easy on the paleo diet because it cuts out, I think, nearly all carbs, doesn't it? And cutting carbs, which are a rich source of energy and something that's very easy to overdo in your diet, starchy pastas and sugars and breads and stuff like that, very easy to overeat those. So you can see people lose weight and get trim, but like people take it to extremes, as they do with many diets. And I'm sure, you know, nuts, fruit, berries, root vegetables, if they could have got them, would have been a big part of old hunter-gatherers' diets, without a shadow of a doubt. And of course, you've got to have a balanced diet, right? That's the key thing. A diet that cuts everything out strictly is not likely to be a sensible long-term solution. may be good for a short term, a very short term fix for very specific situations. I know when I've, when I've gone really low on carbs before, I've managed to drop weight quite nicely. But you've got to think long term, because none of these fatty diets are sustainable long term, and it's long term that you need to think to get a sensible lifestyle. The Paleozoic era, which ran from 542 million years ago to 251 million years ago. Don't think there'd be many humans around then. So they're calling paleo, just like, they basically mean a caveman diet, don't they? But, yeah, when I say drop carbs, this is the thing. So when I have talked about going low carb and dropping carbs out of diet before, but I'm referring to things like starchy carbohydrates that you find in white bread, white pastas, potatoes, and then sugary shit as well. I'm not talking, as some people take this to mean, that when they think, oh, you've got to drop carbs, that means like all vegetables, because vegetables and fruit have carbs. They do have carbs, but they're not like the really bad types. It's hard to overeat on things like cabbage and sweet potatoes and carrots, because you get filled up from them because they're full of fibre as well. So, you know, you do have to include carbs in your diet, sensible ones, just as you have to include fruit and vegetables in your diet. But there are people who like drop all that. And I know a guy who did. He went on one of these like paleo-style diets, and he blamed the vegetables for his lack of progress, so he cut them out too. Just crazy. Crazy. Yeah, it's things like the refined sugars and starchy carbohydrates. And the big problem is, it's not like they are the problem. It's the fact that they are so calorific, calorie dense, nice as well, and addictive. It's possible to eat a ton of them before you feel full, and you just want to keep eating more and more. Like, everyone's done this, right? Taking out a bag of crisps or a bag of chips, as they're called over the pond. And it's really hard to stop eating them because they're dead tasty. And then, you know, you suddenly had like a load of things. And if you think of things that have loads of starchy carbs in, things like pizza. I suppose ice cream's full of sugar, but it's also full of fat. But lots of stuff like that. Pizzas, snacky things, fried stuff. It's all good, and it's so easy. Pringles, exactly, yeah. Chips don't have a lot of fibre inside. Potato chips don't. Sweet potato chips have more. Sweet potato chips are quite nice. Vegetable chips, some can be good. But yeah, fibre's good. So, but yes, and then different people's bodies react in different ways to different diets as well. So people get all sort of very offensive or defensive on the internet over, well, my diet's better than your diet, and my scientist has disproven your scientist over it. But the thing is, different things work for different people. But the real trick is just trying to find a sustainable solution for yourself, what works for you. I actually felt good when I was on a what I call a low carb diet. Is like a low starchy carb diet, and I don't include fruits and vegetables in that. You like your broccolis and your carrots and your sweet potatoes, but I don't consider cutting those out a good thing or necessary. But yeah, cutting the shit stuff out and breads and pastas and regular potatoes, I actually felt really good on it as well. Lots of protein, good quality protein. And then just plenty of fibre as well. But that's what worked for me. Don't take my advice. I'm not a dietitian. Cavemen didn't sit in front of the internet all day. Yeah, that's a big issue. With a mini fridge just down by the side. And Just Eat on call. So you didn't even have to move to go out to find your food. Yeah. Stone Age Just Eat would be quite cool, eh? You went vegan 2 years ago. Lost 60 pounds in that time. Nice. So you managed to drop off medication, blood pressure's better, etc. That's good stuff. Thing is, a vegan diet, I believe you have to be careful with some of the like vitamins and mineral groups. I've got a really good friend who's vegan, and he mentions that he just has to watch. There are so I can't remember which ones, but particular vitamins and minerals. They get it from a supplement or make sure to find some food that has it, because it's easy to miss out on them. But I mean, it's all healthy stuff, right? Vegetables is all good stuff. The risky thing, I suppose, with that or any other type of diet is that to make things flavoursome in your cooking, it's easy to add lots of unhealthy sauces and other stuff to sort of put some flavour back in. So, but that's the same with anything. So you take potassium and iron supplements. It's just being careful, eh? Yeah, I used to be hugely overweight as a kid. Slower metabolism, I think, and I did eat a lot of crap as a kid as well. But I was fairly active, though. I mean, I was an active kid. I went out working around the farm, did all sorts of things, played a few sports, run around like anyone else. But yeah, put on weight really easily. So, and I managed to drop all that the best through heavy weightlifting and going to a lower carb diet. Not a carb zero diet, just want to make sure I'm not advocating that, but a lower carb diet. And carbs at particular times, like after workouts, to sort of refuel the glycogen levels in your system. Stuff like that worked really well for me. For me, and that's the key thing, it worked well for me. It might not work well for others. But the weightlifting, getting my head around the diet side of things, worked wonders for dropping weight. What do we need to do? Let's have a look at the tech and the management. Let's have a look. Warnings. Warning in farming, the barn has run out of resources. Okay, let's see what they are trying to do. We're in a new season, of course, now. He was trying to make rye grain, but he's run out. So he's making fertilizer. Ah, okay. Fertilizer, and I'll put the rest into animal... No, hang on. I need to do that bit because I don't trust them. I can set them off doing wheat grain. There'll be some wheat grain coming, won't there? I'll just put them on fertilizer, you know. I'll do the rest because I don't trust the staff to do the job properly here. Put him on that for now. Actually, when I deliver the flax, I'll put him on that job. So let me go and get my awesome scythe out. That's a hoe. That's not the right thing at all. Where's my bronze scythe? Put this on 6. Is this stuff ready? It is, isn't it? Oh! I didn't have the right thing. Bollocks. I've just hoed my flax. Or flaxed my hoe. I'm going to go diagonal across this field and see what sort of... Look at that. That's the way to do it. None of this nice, neat line bollocks. We're farming like pros now. This is how we do farming. Like the Reaper man. Chop it all down. That's actually really good. Keep running, keep running. You can hold the button for the scythe, can you? Oh, you can. Excellent, thank you for that. That's much easier to use as well. That is considerably better. Thanks, Ellen Brook. That saved me some work. Well, that's not doable. Okay, so that was the first field of flax. There is another one somewhere. There's a guy picking cabbages over there. Let's get this one done. I feel like a proper combine harvester doing this. This is excellent. And quite satisfying, quite chilling as well. Chilled out. Not chilling. Chilling's horrifying. I know, I feel so bad about that corner of flax. I've done that a few times. It messes up your numbers. You know when you work out, you know, that you've got the perfect number of crops in for a particular project. And that messes it up. That's really annoying when that happens. I think I've got oats and wheat to go and get as well. So we'll drop this off. We'll maybe look at my staffing and see if anyone wants to go and do some work threshing loads of flax. Right, and I've got wheat over here. The bronze scythe is lasting quite well. Oats. Oats must be an autumn thing, mustn't they? Otherwise they'd be ready now. So one field of wheat coming right up. Starting to get overloaded with grains and straw. Can I turn all the wheat? No, I can't turn all the wheat into flour. Because I need to save 40 wheat seed, otherwise they'll go on millet, won't they? That's like, can I set limits? I could take the seed out and keep it in my house. There's always that possibility. I think that's it for scything at the moment. This is a field of oats, isn't it? Yeah, ready in autumn. It's on with the cabbages. Oh, let's go and see the beetroot. This looks kind of cool. What's in this one? Nothing. That's the rye. That won't be ready till winter. Beetroot coming on nicely. And look at the onions. Oh, these are ready? What did I get? I got 14 onions from that. This is getting heavy. I think I can get the whole field in, though. And I'll leave the guy to sort it out afterwards. We'll be having stew tonight. Cringe, thank you for the hydrate. Cheers. Is it nostalgia for my childhood and farm life? It is a little bit. I also used to be a gardener, and one of my favourite things was growing our own vegetables. I didn't do that so much for customers at the time. This was a long time ago, so like 20 years ago. But yeah, it was nice, and we don't have the facilities or space to do that now. There's no allotments where we live, so we can't do that, and the garden's not big enough. We can plant a few things, but not like this. But yeah, I do feel a bit nostalgic for it. Not that we grew much like that. It was a sheep farm I grew up on. And I'm not a big fan of sheep, having worked with them for a little bit. Hey, Grant, it's going well. How are you? Just going to have a bath before I forget, because it has been a while. Right, let me stagger into... Oh, what shall I go to first? I'll go to this place. Where's the general store? And I'll put the onions away. What shall I have my smithy making? He doesn't need to be making those stone tools anymore, does he? I want him to still get on with crafting, but he doesn't need to be making those. I don't know. I suppose they're not even worth selling. I'll think of something. I might put him back in the workshop. He can make... Oh, yeah, put him back in the workshop, and he can make me some wooden plates for the stew or something I'm going to create. Right, 297 onions. Actually, that wants to be in the food store, having thought about it. Feathers can go in here. The flax needs 785 flax. By God, that's a lot. Some spare onion seed, some spare planks, and some sticks. Not much wheat. Okay, should we go and thresh some of this ourselves? Let's put our barn worker... Do we have any spare people, actually, doing nothing? We have children. Got a barn worker. He's making manure, though, so it is actually quite important. Oh, Wolfram's not. Ah, that's the point. I've got 2 people in there. What's wrong with production? The workshop, too. I have no one in and no work. That's fine. That's okay. The smithy... Yeah, let's take someone out of the smithy, actually. Let's take Radovit out. I'm going to go back to the workshop. I won't remove him because that might reset his progress, someone was saying earlier. Let's go into this. Put Radovit in. As a craftsman. And, oh, I don't have it yet, do I? Crap, right. Let's go to technology. Kitchen or workshop? Workshop. Production. It's not kitchen. It must be workshop. Wooden plate. Management. These menus are a pain to work through. Wooden plate times 5 requires log times 1. Yeah, get me a stack of these. Because then I can make... that's going to be a bit extreme, isn't it? That's make 30 plates a day. All right, well, that's okay, because I might do a massive production run of various foods, so... Back from work, driving in London all day. Oh, rather than you. Rather you than me, I should say. Driving around London, I wouldn't fancy that. That would terrify me. I'm not a big fan of big cities at the best of times. Never mind driving around them. Do they not have barrel furniture in this? There's plenty of barrels around, but I've never actually looked to see if I can make one. Right, let's dump the... We now have nearly all the stuff I need to take to Samboy. It's just the beetroot, so that's going to be next season. So the onions will go in. What else? I've got some apples. They're rotting on me. I'll put them in the food store. Worry about it later. And I don't have the straw and stuff yet. Okay, so we go and ditch this in here. They're making an awful lot of poo. So let's put the flax in. I'll do the wheat myself, actually. That's not going to be... Oh, right, okay. He's busy, clearly. Let's put the wheat in as well. I can come and do it one night. We want to check the management. He's just going through the motions with that animation. Because he shouldn't actually be producing that. Let me check. It's all on fertilizer, so let's drop that down to 30 a day. We'll increase that when we get more pigs, but right now you also need to go onto the flax seed production. And this is where we make the money. This is the big money stuff. It'll take so long to do. It'll take him 3 days. That's the rest of the season. That's not bad, actually. So, another job done. I've got a family I can move into. Let's have a look. I've got a house. Let's take a look at the houses. So I've got an empty, simple house. Do we have a family in... Well, that one's done, so that doesn't need to move. Simple, small house. I should probably put one of those in, should I? Who's in there? So let's move Gustawa and Wolfram over to this one. Let's see. Where are either of those? These last two. Oh, okay, and we need to go Wolfram as well then. Because they're not technically a family yet. So I've got a simple house empty, so I can upgrade that if I wish to. But we've got mining to do. So that's the next job. When I come back, we'll insulate those 2 stone houses. I better take some food with us. How are we off for food? I have 0 food. Working with fertilizer all day sounds like a shitty job. Could be worse. Could be worse. You could be reading dad jokes out on my stream. Food, please. What shall I take? I've got a lot of meat. We'll try and make some stews or stuff with that. I'm going to have to throw the onions on the floor and let them all rot down. Roasted. Oh, that's rotting as well. Stack of pears. Salted meat. Oh, even that. Okay, that slowly decays. That's good to know. I will take, I think, because it's all going to go off. I'll take 48 apples. Now, eat it on the way. It's probably a little bit extreme, is that? It's nice that it gives water back as well, though. Thirst-quenching fresh apples. Empty, simple house sounds like a church. I'm surprised, actually, you bring that up. Sorry, I'm not surprised you bring it up. But you bring that up. I'm surprised in the game that they don't have churches and chapels and stuff. Perhaps they have wanted to remain religion-free for whatever reasons. To maybe appeal to a wider audience, or to avoid anyone arguing over issues, or the usual, I'm offended by your whatever brigade that seems so common in everything these days. Or maybe they just haven't thought about putting it in because, like, church life and the church was a big part of medieval life. And I can imagine when your settlement hits a certain level, you could put a church in, employ someone as a preacher, which would maybe raise the mood of people. I don't know. It's not something I particularly want, but I wouldn't be objected to it. I wouldn't object to it in the game either. But I'm surprised it's not there. Strange way to drink water.